All right, this is our week 5, second Dyad video. Ken Litwak, Jennifer Izdanovich, and this is for Psychology 421. So, little background information. We spoke last week about your job. You work at Kmart, and you work in the electronics department. You're doing a lot of work outside of your department.
And I don't really want to do work outside of my department. I would prefer to be a little more focused in what I'm able to do. I can't get anything done at all in my electronics department because I'm being pulled between that. I'm pulled over to the layaway area because the holiday season is swiftly approaching. And that kind of means that I'm also someone who they call for price checks, find a product for me. I need a UPC. There's a question on line 1, and I don't know how to answer it. Can you answer it for me? And that leaves me with getting a whole lot of nothing done in electronics, which is why I kind of wanted to go over to the infants apparel because there are no registers or layaway over there in infants apparel.
All right, let me ask you if I've got this straight. As the holiday season approaches, you're in the electronics department, which is going to be very busy.
Yes, that is
Electronics
correct.
seem to me to sell a lot in the Christmas time, but you also work in the layaway department at the same time, which before the holiday, that's a very busy department also.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there are times when you have to get things from electronics and bring it to layaway. And that's even harder because when you're already in layaway, you've got to find someone who can come over and do your job in electronics so that way they can bring your merchandise that has to be locked up in layaway somewhere over to layaway because obviously I cannot be cloned.
And you had mentioned something about a possible opportunity in another department.
Yes, that was the children's soft line. It's mostly clothing, which is really what my background in retail is. It's customer service. It's making sure your stuff is put out from whatever shipments you get in. And you don't do register. You're not called to layaway because, as far as for some reason everyone is concerned, you have no idea what layaway is. So that works out well for me because that means I can get actual, jobs done and customers help without having to interrupt them and walk away from them.
Okay. So let me see if I've got it straight. It's a big change from what you're doing now. This young children's clothing department is, I think, what you had said.
It's all of infants and kids. So it's a bigger department. It's like a whole half the side of the store almost, or like a quarter of the side of the store.
Okay.
And but there are no registers in that section.
So the actual work is very different from what you're doing now.
Yep.
I believe you had mentioned last time we spoke that you had taken some very initial steps towards trying to get that position.
Yeah, I had mentioned it to the manager that I was interested in the position, and actually the young gentleman who works in the department with me is kind of interested in being a full-time person. So if I went to infants, he would be able to get that position as a full-time person. He would be, instead of being part-time, he'd be full-time, which would benefit both of us because you can promote someone and you can shift me over to where I'm a little more comfortable and I might be a little more effective because right now I don't feel like I'm being effective in the electronics section.
Okay, so really there's a pattern there where the store could benefit. It wouldn't just be that you would be the only one to benefit. The store could promote someone else could benefit, become full-time, and you could become more satisfied in your position working in a different department, but the store wouldn't really take an operational hit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, all right, so you said you spoke to your supervisor or the manager.
I had mentioned it to the manager, and the gentleman that I work with, he mentioned it to our immediate supervisor, who seemed to be okay with it. The manager himself did not say anything really about it, just kind of took note of it. But last we had heard that it was up to the soft lines manager, which is like there's 3 assistants and she's one of them. So as long as it was okay with her and the manager, it was okay with my immediate supervisor if we did a switch like that.
Okay, so I think I'm hearing that it's something you would want to do, that you took an initial step towards it, but I feel like perhaps you let it fall by the wayside. Um, have you done anything further to follow up on this or spoken to any of the other managers involved?
No, I really haven't. It's been a busy season, so what I've been trying to do is just focus what my immediate demands are. My immediate demands are to make sure that my department is good. Because as far as I'm concerned, I may still be there tomorrow. So I still have to do the work today that prepares us for tomorrow. So, I mean, I'm not going to let my department start faltering because I haven't heard anything, and I'm not going to run around after them because obviously the impression I got from them is not necessarily something that they really want to do, because like I said last time, for me it would be a step down. It would be less to worry about, which is what I would prefer. I could focus more on what I want to get done and make my department look good. But they've had a lot of compliments about how good the department actually looks. I mean, it's not up to my standards. I think it looks like hell. But apparently from their bosses that go around and check how the different stores in the different districts are operating, they say it's one of the fullest, most well-kept departments that they've seen.
Okay, so could it be that you're doing a good job in the department where you are? It's a challenge, but you're doing a good job. I feel like I'm hearing you say that your managers are satisfied with the job you're doing, and that there's this other opportunity for you that you would like, but that you really haven't done much to achieve that goal.
No, I have not. Because the more I work in my little electronics department, and now that they have more help, the strain has been lifted. So I've actually been able to accomplish more than I used to, which I have a feeling is their reaction to I want out of the department because I'm not happy with the department and how it looks and what I'm not able to get done. So I think that was their answer to it, was to alleviate the things that I had to do that someone else could do, so that way I can like put freight out where it's supposed to and stay in my department and help customers in my department, as opposed to.
So perhaps what you're telling me is that your managers have recognized that you are effective where you are, but that you have been overworked, and perhaps speaking to them about taking a step back made them feel like they should pay closer attention to your needs in that department and have given you some help.
Yeah, the demands that are kind of placed on me that they don't realize when they see like other people who work in the store notice that I'm called more than a lot of other people in that area, and they think to themselves, well, Jen's already been called for 3 different things in the span of 5 minutes. There's no way that she can do it all. So, especially when loss prevention knows that I should be in my department helping keep an eye on it so they can not focus on the highest dollar amount that's over there, they can check the rest of the store and watch people who are shoplifting elsewhere. They don't have to worry about constantly focusing and patrolling my department.
Well, I think I'm sensing a little excitement or a little motivation on your part. Whereas maybe last time we spoke, you were a little dejected about your department, but now, after having managers having made some changes for you, I feel like I'm getting the impression that you're a little more satisfied.
I am very sad. I'm a lot more satisfied. I mean, I would prefer that they say, yes, you are overworked and we recognize that, but, the things that I'm seeing as I'm not getting called and I was actually to spend a day and get old product out of my back room and onto the sales floor so that I can sell instead of just being lost back there, that makes me feel good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like you're actually making some progress at your job and with your situation. So let's wrap it up for today, and perhaps we'll revisit this situation in another week or so.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye.